Good morning, you are watching NEWSi 24/7. Today's headlines are: warning of a looming humanitarian crisis. Prime Minister Imran Khan Friday said a destabilized, chaotic Afghanistan could again emerge as a safe haven for international terrorists, and called for measures to strengthen and stabilize its current government for the people of Afghanistan. Addressing the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly, the Prime Minister said a huge humanitarian crisis was looming ahead which could have serious repercussions, not just for the neighbors of Afghanistan, but everywhere. This is a critical time for Afghanistan. You cannot waste time. Help is needed there. Humanitarian assistance has to be given there immediately, Prime Minister Imran Khan told the gathering of leaders. In a recorded video address, the Prime Minister spoke at length about the major global issues including Afghanistan, gross human rights violations in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, hate-filled Hindutva ideology, Islamophobia, climate change and corruption. The United States had requested member states to send recorded messages as a preventive measure against the spread of coronavirus. However, 83 heads of state, 43 prime ministers, 3 deputy prime ministers and 23 foreign ministers are addressing the General Assembly in person. Prime Minister Imran Khan said Pakistan was the only country apart from Afghanistan that suffered the most from the United States war on terror after 9/11, and dismissed the notion by some that his country had any part to play in the turn of recent events in Afghanistan. 80,000 Pakistanis died. United States, $150 billion were lost to our economy. There were 3.5 million left square bracket, temporarily right square bracket, internally displaced Pakistanis, he said. Prime Minister Imran Khan said the United States went wrong when it tried to force a military solution in Afghanistan. And if today, the world needs to know why the Taliban are back in power. FM Qureshi meets UN General Assembly President. Pakistan Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi Friday met with the President of the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly, Abdullah Shawad of Maldives, at the UN headquarters in New York. He congratulated the President of the General Assembly on his election and expressed the hope that his presence in this important office would help make progress on important issues on the agenda of the UN, according to a press release issued by the Pakistan mission to the UN. The foreign minister briefed the UN Secretary General on the deteriorating human rights and humanitarian situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, IOJ, and shared with him a comprehensive dossier containing evidence of gross, systematic, and widespread human rights violations, war crimes, crime against humanity and genocide being perpetrated by Indian occupation forces there. He expressed the hope that the UN would play its role in ensuring that the Kashmiris exercise their inalienable right to self-determination as enshrined in the relevant UN resolutions. On Afghanistan, Foreign Minister Qureshi underscored the need for urgent action to address the prevailing dire humanitarian situation in country, calling for the continued political and economic engagement of the international community to end decades-long conflict. He highlighted Pakistan's ongoing efforts in addressing the humanitarian efforts as well as its efforts aimed at achieving lasting peace and stability in Afghanistan. He called for making the UN Security Council more representative, democratic, transparent, effective and accountable to address the multiple challenges facing the world. He emphasized that the reform of the Council must be decided by consensus, and the member states must be allowed the necessary time and space to evolve a solution acceptable to the entire UN membership. China develops new COVID-19 vaccine, most effective against virus variants. Chinese people are about to embrace a new COVID-19 vaccine, which experts predicted could be the most effective, developed in China. The latest research showed 79% efficacy against the dominant Delta variant, and overall 67% efficacy against any variants. The vaccine, a protein-based COVID-19 vaccine candidate developed by Chengdu based Clover Biopharmaceuticals, is also the world's first COVID-19 vaccine that has been proven effective against all three mutations, Delta, Gamma and Nu. Zhuang Chalai, a Guangzhou-based vaccine expert, told the Global Times. Clover announced on its website that it had achieved the primary efficacy endpoint and secondary efficacy endpoints in Spectra, a global pivotal phase II-IE clinical trial. The results showed that the candidate, 2019, demonstrated 79% overall efficacy against COVID-19 of any severity, caused by the globally dominant Delta variant, which currently comprises more than 90% of all cases worldwide. Efficacy was 92% against the Gamma variant, and 59% against the Nu variant, and collectively these three strains, Delta, Gamma and Nu, comprised 73% of all strains identified in the study, according to an announcement the company released on its website. Overall efficacy was 67% against COVID-19 of any severity caused by any strain in the study, successfully meeting the primary endpoint of the trial. Clover's vaccine candidate is one of the first to demonstrate significant efficacy against Delta in a double-blind, randomized clinical trial, read the announcement. The overall efficacy is not bad, given the severity of the variants used in the clinical trial, Zhuang said. We can say that the Clover candidate faces the most severe phase 3 environment than any previous one did, such as Pfizer, Oxford and Sinovac candidates, he noted. Punjab's camp probables, showing improvement in training camp. DGSBP Director General Commerce, Sport Punjab Commerce, Agnan Atul Friday said Punjab's under-17 boys and under-16 girls athletics teams were showing significant improvement in their performance and fitness during the week-long training camp here at the Punjab Stadium. He lauded the stamina and game skill of Punjab's young male and female athletes and expressed the hope that they would put up fine performance in the Inter-Provincial Athletics Youth Tournament, scheduled to be staged in Peshawar from September 27 to 29. Our expert coaches and trainers are imparting top-level training to Punjab's young athletes. Punjab's under-17 boys and under-16 girls athletics teams also took part in exhibition athletics competitions at the training camp under the watchful eyes of Sport Punjab's expert coaches and trainers at Punjab Stadium. Expert coaches arranged competitive athletics events to give young athletes valuable match practice ahead of the Peshawar event. Punjab's under-17 male athletes Riaz Ahmed, Saeem Ullah, Hamad, Hamza, Wasik, Mohammad Muhsin, Abdullah Nawaz, Murad Khan, Shoaib Khan, Mohammad Ayman and Mohammad Junaid exhibited good performance in long jump, javelin throw, discus throw and shot put events. On the other hand, female sprinters Nareed Malik, Fatima Saeed, Zara Tariq, Sana Farman, Sonia Ijaz, Kashaf Bashi, Javeria and Amna M. Hassan demonstrated their talent in 200 meters, 400 meters, and 800 meters exhibition races. Punjab's athletes are being trained under the supervision of Camp Commandant Tariq Nazir and coaches Ijaz Abdul Kholik, Oladita Tahi, Miss Nazreen and Miss Sajida. IT Park inaugurates at Hazara University. Ministry of Information Technology and Telecom Commonwealth has established a software technology park commerce at Hazara University aimed at providing all facilities to IT companies under one roof. Federal Minister for IT, Syed Amin ul-Haq along with Minister for Railways Azam Khan Swati, inaugurated the park on Friday. Vice-Chancellor Dr. Jamal Ahmed, Chief Executive Ignite Asim Shayar, Member International Coordination Ajmal Awan, large number of dignitaries and students were also attended the inauguration ceremony. In collaboration with Hazara University, the Pakistan Software Export Board (SEB), an organization of Moit has set up this STP, for which a large space of 12,000 square feet has been allotted in the university. The technology park will provide all the facilities to the IT companies, so that they can ensure the acquisition of valuable foreign exchange, for the country by providing IT products and technical services to the companies from all over the world without any hindrance. Addressing the occasion, Federal Minister for Information Technology and Telecom, Said Amin-ul-Haq, said that besides the technology park, a national incubation center Comunic would soon be set up at Hazara University under the Ministry of IT. He said that the bright future of the youth depends on adapting themselves to digital technology. In this regard, our job is to provide you facilities, and your job is to take advantage of it, and not only make your future safe and radiant, even has to play a significant role in the nation, he added. Said Amin-ul-Haq announced on the occasion that the Ministry of IT will soon launch the Smartphone for All project, as his ministry wanted to see a latest 3/4G phone, worth not more than $8,000 to $12,000, in the hands of 220 million. Tarim hails progressive PSW on the Federal Minister for Finance and Revenue Shaukat Tarim on Friday hailed the Progressive Governing Council of Pakistan Single Window SU for ease of doing business in the country. The Federal Minister for Finance and Revenue Shaukat Tarim presided over the first meeting of Governing Council of Pakistan Single Window SU held at the Finance Division, said a press release issued by Ministry of Finance. The Secretary of the Governing Council briefed the Finance Minister about the Pakistan Single Window SU, a virtual system which is connecting the concerned ministries, customs, port authorities, banks and other relevant departments after major process re-engineering to provide a single window for management of international trade. The PSW is a facility that allows parties involved in trade and transport in Pakistan to lodge standardized information and documents at a single registration point. This eliminates the hidden costs and removes inefficiencies in governance of international trade, including logistics. He further briefed that first phase of PSW program has been rolled out, while its second and third phases will be completed within the next 2 years. The implementation of PSW will make Pakistan's ports competitive by minimizing the transaction costs, and also enhance efficient provision of B2B and B2C value-added services. The cargo would be cleared in a minimum possible time. Over 75 regulatory departments will be fully integrated through ICT-based system, providing a single point of entry to facilitate trading across borders with minimal need for any physical contact, he added. The Governing Council is the apex body in the approved business model of PSW under Pakistan Single Window Act, promulgated in April this year. The GC comprises of key stakeholders and prominent private sector subject specialists to oversee. NEWSi approves was 20.7 and KCR Project Executive Committee of National Economic Council Friday approved the 20.7 billion infrastructure project for Karachi Circular Railway Comunic. The meeting, presided over by Minister for Finance and Revenue Shaukat Tarim, considered and approved a summary presented by the Planning Commission regarding the construction of infrastructure for the elimination of level crossings for the loop section of Karachi Circular Railway Comunic. The project will be sponsored and executed by the Ministry of Railways, Government of Pakistan, and will be located in Karachi, according to a statement issued by the Finance Ministry. The project envisages the construction of flyovers/underpasses along the route of KCR for the elimination of 22 level crossings. The rationalized cost of the project is $20,715.368 million on a cost-sharing basis. The project will facilitate the free movement of the KCR train. In his tweet, Minister for Planning, Development and Special Initiatives Asad Umar informed that Prime Minister Imran Khan would be the chief guest at the groundbreaking ceremony for the project in Karachi next week. The NEWSi also approved a recommendation put forth by the Planning Commission that the Central Development Working Party (COMIC) will be authorized to consider the projects where NEWSi gives the decision to approve the project in question, with the direction of rationalization of cost. If the rationalization exercise results in a downward revision in cost, such projects will be accorded approval by the CDUP, and a status report shall be submitted for the perusal of the chairman NO. In case of upward cost rationalization/revision, the project shall be resubmitted before NOC for consideration/approval. Among others, Federal Minister for Planning Asat Yuma, Deputy Chairman Planning, Federal Secretaries, representatives of provincial governments, and other senior officers participated in the meeting. Federal Minister for Industries and Production Chislo Baisha joined through a video link. Thanks for watching NEWSi 24/7. For more news visit our website on www.newsi247.tv or follow us on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook.